Hi, this is Jack Daulton. Again, I'm still in Myanmar, or Burma as it's sometimes called. I'm again with my trusty guide, Kyaw Soe. And Kyaw Soe, we're presently just on the Burma Road, aren't we?
Yes, we are on the Burma Road, which is linking Burma with China to use as a supply line for the besieged Chinese forces by the Japanese before the war in the 37 and 38. So the Chinese soldiers built this road in 1937 for 10 months, and then we've just driven and we just got off.
And so this was a major supply line for the Chinese when they were battling the Japanese just before the beginning of World War II.
Oh yes, it was because the Sino-Japanese War, once it was began, the China was squeezed in and Shanghai was taken, and afterwards, the Chinese have to fall back, to the southwestern province of Yunnan and all these places near the border of Burma, and so we need to supply. All these allies have to make the supply line, by using this Burma Road from the railway terminus of Lashio, which is linked with our seaport of Rangoon, to get all the supplies up to Lashio, and from Lashio over to Yunnan province of China, the capital Kunming.
So we followed the Burma Road yesterday and today. Yesterday we followed it from Lashio, which is the western terminus of the road. We followed it all the way to the Chinese border, didn't we?
Yes.
And nearby it links up with the famous Lido Road coming from the northwest.
Yeah, exactly. That's where, after the Allies, when Japanese, besieged, took over Burma, Burma Road was blocked, and then, we have another way to supply, and then, which is, of course, flying over the humps, over these Himalayan mountain ranges. But later on, they found a way to get the supply linked with Lido from India side and into Burma, which is linking with the Burma Road near the present-day border of Burma and China, near Musa.
And so, as we drove along the Burma Road and the Lido Road today, we saw that it was through an incredibly mountainous and heavily forested area, and I was really struck by the fact that it must have been an enormous undertaking to construct this road before World War II.
Yeah, we were amazed actually by all these over the mountains and just switchbacks, and how much effort will be put into this, building construction of all these roads, Lido as well as Burma Road, giving that time how poor the situation was, all these engineering technology, at that stage. So it is amazing that to see this human wonder.
It really was. And if we pan slowly over to this direction, you can see some of this very hilly forested terrain through which the Burma Road and the Lido roads were cut. And then on the other side, just behind us, is something quite interesting. Behind us, I think we can see a ruined structure. And this is really fascinating too, isn't it? Isn't it, Kyaw Soe? This is what they call a hall, or the former residence of the sawbwas, or the rulers of this part of the country in the colonial period and before.
Yeah, exactly. These the Shans are one of the major tribes of Burma, and they've got feudal chiefs or chieftains. They are the nobilities all over their Shan states. And they will be, had they been in England, they will be dukes. So all the royal family has got their residences all different parts of the Shan state, and this is one of those.
Known as a hall, and in the colonial period and before, the sawbwa system was the system of royalty that governed the Shan states, and since the independence of Burma, that system has been completely dismantled, and now we just see here and there a ruined hall, some very rare halls still in existence, which are just memories, really, glimpses of this past.
Yeah, it's just the glimpses of the past, and then it's so good to be here visiting one of those again at this the town of Thein Ni.
Yes, we should say this is in the town of Thein Ni on the Burma Road.
Exactly.
And just to conclude this interesting video, I hope it's interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Over on the other side of us is another one of the ubiquitous spirit shrines, or shrines of the Knots, the spirits of Burma, including the Shan states.
Exactly. The spiritualism in Burma is also very deeply rooted and amalgamated with the Buddhism here, which is the orthodox form of Buddhism, the mainstay, but you can never separate these two, you know.
And we talked about that in an earlier video, and this is just another example of a Knot shrine.
Exactly.
So, right here on the Burma Road, we have this interesting topography, this wonderful pre-war and World War II history.
Yeah.
A ruin harkening back to the colonial period and before, when the Sawbwas ruled this area, and even a Knot shrine.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Better, yeah.